can be sent back to prison without committing a new crime. No trial, no jury, no new crime or sentence, just a decision, and the prison gates close on you again. Later in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we can do about it. So stay with me because this is where people need to start paying attention. This is recall. This is one of the biggest reasons IPP is still destroying lives today. Because people think prison ends when you're released. With IPP, that's not how it works. If you are serving an IPP sentence, even after you're released, you're still under control. You're still being monitored, you're still being judged on risk, and if that risk is seen to increase, you can be recalled straight back to prison. And recall is not a new sentence. It's the system saying, we don't think you're safe enough to stay in the community right now. And that decision does not need a new conviction. It's purely based on risk. That is the word everything revolves around. Risk. You can be potentially recalled for missing an appointment, breaking license condition, being seen as unstable or struggling, something you've said that you raised concern, or information reported about you, even if it hasn't been proven in court or otherwise. A mental health crisis that makes professionals think your risk is rising. Someone ringing probation, making false allegation about you, or behavior that suggests things are starting to go wrong. No charge, no conviction, just a decision, and you're back in prison. Think about that properly. You could be doing your best to rebuild your life and still be one judgment call away from losing it all again. This is not how most people believe the justice system works, but this is exactly how recall works under IPP. And when recall happens, it's fast. You are picked up, returned to custody, and suddenly everything you were building on the outside is gone. Job? Gone. Routine? Gone. Back to prison one. Stability? Non-existent anymore. Back to a cell. Back to a waiting. Then comes the hardest part. Because once you're recalled, you are back in the system again, trying to prove you are safe enough to be released again. You've got no clear timeline, no guarantee, no certainty, just the same questions hanging over you again. Are you safe enough? And if the answer is no, you stay. And we're going back to courses not being available, progression not being available. You're not meeting criteria for certain courses that are required. It's ridiculous. Now, there is something not going unnoticed because there's been pressure and a little bit of a movement around how some IPP recalls are being looked at again, especially where people have been sent back without committing a new offense. That tells you everything. This is not rare. This is not exaggerated or overly dramatized. This is happening enough that it cannot be ignored. And I have seen this from inside. People coming back to the gates. And the question on everyone's mind is, what did you do? And sometimes the answer is, nothing new, just recall. This is why IPP does not just punish people once. It punishes them again and again and again. Because even after release, you're not fully clear of the system. You're always one decision away from going back. So what do we do about this? Well, we stop pretending this is acceptable, because it isn't. And this is exactly why I've started an official Parliament petition calling for IPP prisoners to be resentenced and recalled without new offence to be scrapped, except in most serious high-risk and sexual cases. The link will be in the description below. And I need you to take this seriously. Sign it. Share it. Push it everywhere. Because this only changes if people actually make noise about it. If you've ever said the system is wrong, this is where you prove it. And if you can't be there in person, there is a protest against IPP sentences on 15th of April at 11 a.m. in London outside the Houses of Parliament. Be there. Stand there with us. Make it visible. because people are still being pulled back into prison without committing new crime right now. And in the next episode, I'm showing you what this actually does to people. The mental pressure, the families, the reality of living in the torture like this every single day, whether you're inside or whether you're already outside. Because recall is the mechanism, but the damage goes far, far deeper. And before I wrap this up, hi, my name is Dagna, and I was a prison officer in the UK for 6 years. I've stood on the inside of the system, and I've seen what the headlines miss. This is Inside Out Justice, where we say the quiet parts out loud.